Welcome back to Healthier Daily, the channel where we give you the simple, science-backed truths to live a stronger and healthier life after 60. I'm your host, Dr. Ben Carter. If you are one of the millions of seniors living with the daily grinding pain of arthritis in your knees, your hips, or your hands, you have probably been told that it's just something you have to manage with pills. But what if one of the most powerful tools to fight that pain and that inflammation isn't in your medicine cabinet, but is waiting for you right now in your pantry? To help us understand how food can be a powerful medicine for arthritis, we are joined by a man who has spent his life teaching the principles of natural healing and wise nutrition. It is our great honor to welcome Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you for having me, Ben. The pain of arthritis is caused by inflammation. Many modern processed foods can add fuel to the fire of inflammation in the body. But some simple, humble plant foods have the opposite effect. They contain powerful natural compounds that help to calm the body's inflammatory response from the inside out.
And that is exactly what we're going to focus on today. Dr. Hinohara is going to share his three-pronged attack on arthritis using three powerful and delicious plant-based proteins. We will explore what he calls the mineral powerhouse, the antioxidant shield, and the complete builder. For each one, Dr. Hinohara will explain the benefits and share a story. I will then add the simple science of why it is so effective. It's a blessing to know that nature provides these gentle tools to help us find relief from pain. If you are ready to learn how to use your food to fight back against your arthritis pain, please type the number 1 in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. It's completely free, and this guide could offer you a new natural path to comfort. Okay, doctor, let's get right into your three-pronged attack on arthritis. What is the first powerhouse plant-based protein on your list, the one you call the mineral powerhouse?
We will begin with one of the most humble, yet one of the most powerful foods on the entire planet. It is the simple lentil. If you are not giving lentils much thought as a tool to help with your arthritis, you are truly missing out on a wonderful natural medicine. I must tell you about a patient of mine. He was a 70-year-old retired mail carrier. He had been on his feet walking for his job his entire life. But his arthritis had become so severe in his retirement that his main complaint was not just a pain, but a terrible, painful swelling in his knees and in his ankles. He told me that by the end of the day his legs felt like they were heavy and full of water. The simple act of putting on his socks in the evening had become a struggle for him. He was eating a very typical American diet with a lot of meat and potatoes. We made a very simple swap. I asked him to replace some of his meat dishes during the week with a simple hearty lentil soup just 3 to 4 times a week. After 1 month of this simple change, he came back to my office. The very first thing he told me was, "My shoes fit again." The painful swelling in his ankles had gone down so much that he could see his ankle bones again. For him, the lentils were helping his body to find its natural balance and release that painful, trapped fluid.
That is a remarkable story, doctor, about reducing that painful swelling. Let's break down the science of why this simple lentil was so incredibly effective for him. It's not just one thing. It's a whole team of powerful nutrients working together inside that tiny legume. First, as you mentioned in the source material, lentils are a fantastic source of magnesium. We often think of magnesium for muscle cramps, but it is also one of the body's most powerful natural anti-inflammatory minerals. It helps to regulate your body's entire inflammatory response, calming down the very signals that lead to the pain and swelling in your joints. Second, and this is critical for the swelling your patient was experiencing, they are packed with potassium. Many modern diets are very high in sodium or salt and very low in potassium. This imbalance causes the body to retain excess fluid, especially around the joints. Potassium helps your kidneys to flush out that excess sodium and water, which can directly reduce that puffy, swollen feeling.
And there is more. The fiber is also very important.
It is. The high fiber content in lentils prevents the sharp spikes in blood sugar that can happen after a meal. These blood sugar spikes are a major trigger for inflammation throughout the body. So by keeping your blood sugar stable, the fiber in lentils is helping to keep that fire of inflammation from flaring up inside your joints. And finally, a nutrient that people rarely connect to arthritis: folate, or vitamin B9. Your body needs folate to process a common amino acid called homocysteine. When homocysteine levels get too high in the blood, it can cause inflammation and damage to the blood vessels, which can make arthritis symptoms much worse. Lentils provide the folate your body needs to keep homocysteine in a safe, healthy range. So you have the magnesium, the potassium, the fiber, and the folate all working together in one simple food.
And preparing them is very easy. Unlike many other dried beans, lentils do not need to be soaked overnight. You simply rinse them in a colander under cool water to remove any dust. The easiest way to enjoy them is in a simple soup. You can put 1 cup of rinsed lentils in a pot with 4 or 5 cups of a low-sodium vegetable broth. You can add some chopped carrot, celery, and onion. Bring it to a boil and then let it simmer gently for about 25 to 30 minutes until the lentils are soft and tender. You can add a little bit of garlic or some gentle herbs like thyme or rosemary for a beautiful savory flavor. They are also wonderful in salads. You can cook them, let them cool, and then toss them with some chopped cucumber tomatoes and a light dressing of olive oil and lemon juice. They are a very versatile and very forgiving food to cook with.
That sounds delicious and very easy. It's wonderful to know that something so affordable and so simple a food that has been a blessing to humanity for thousands of years contains so much natural healing power. Doctor, that was a fantastic deep dive into the mineral power of lentils for fighting the swelling and inflammation that comes with arthritis. What is the second plant-based protein in your 3-pronged attack? What is the antioxidant shield?
Our second food is another wonderful and versatile legume. It is the chickpea, also known in America as the garbanzo bean. If we think of lentils as the mineral powerhouse, then I think of chickpeas as the antioxidant shield. Their primary job is to protect the delicate tissues of your joints from the daily damage that makes arthritis worse over time. I had a patient, a 68-year-old grandmother. Her greatest joy in life was her beautiful flower garden. But she came to me because the joints in her fingers were becoming progressively stiffer and more painful. She told me they felt old and worn out. It was becoming difficult for her to do the delicate work she loved, like pruning her roses or planting small seedlings in the spring. She was afraid she was losing the hobby that brought her so much peace and connection to the earth. She was a person who loved savory snacks in the afternoon, so we made a very simple plan. Instead of her usual crackers or potato chips, I asked her to have a small bowl of hummus, which is made from chickpeas, with some fresh vegetable sticks like carrots and celery. She also started adding chickpeas to her lunchtime salads a few times a week. After a few months of this consistent change, she came back to my office and held up her hands for me to see. She could make a fist without wincing. She said, "I can feel the life and the nimbleness in my fingers again." The protective compounds in the chickpeas were helping to shield her joints from the constant stress and inflammation of her condition.
That is another wonderful and hopeful story. Let's talk about the science of that antioxidant shield because what was happening inside her body is so fascinating. What exactly is happening inside an arthritic joint that causes this damage?
It is a process of constant attack from inflammation.
That's right. The inflammation that is present in an arthritic joint creates a huge number of unstable molecules called free radicals. You can think of these free radicals as tiny out-of-control sparks flying around inside your joint. These sparks hit your delicate cartilage and other tissues, causing damage and causing them to break down faster. Chickpeas are packed with powerful antioxidants, especially a group called polyphenols. These polyphenols are like a fire extinguisher for those sparks. They find and neutralize the damaging free radicals before they can do more harm to your joint tissues. It is a direct protective action that helps to slow down the progression of the damage. But it's not just about protection, it's also about rebuilding. As the source material you provided notes, chickpeas are also a very good source of vitamin C. And as we have discussed before, vitamin C is the essential worker that your body must have to synthesize new strong collagen. So the chickpeas are performing two critical jobs at once. The polyphenols are protecting the old existing structure, and the vitamin C is helping to build the new structure. And on top of all that, just like the lentils, chickpeas are also a good source of anti-inflammatory magnesium and the blood sugar stabilizing fiber that we know is so important for keeping the overall level of inflammation low in the body. It is a complete package for joint support.
And they are so wonderfully easy and delicious to add to your diet.
They really are. So, doctor, you mentioned your patient started eating hummus. What are some other simple American-friendly ways for our viewers to get more chickpeas into their diet?
Hummus is the most famous, and it is wonderful. You can buy it ready-made at any grocery store or easily make it yourself at home. It is a perfect dip for carrot sticks, cucumber slices, or bell pepper strips. They are also excellent in salads. You can simply open a can, and I must remind everyone to please rinse them very well under water to remove the excess salt from the can and toss them into any green salad for an instant boost of protein and fiber. A very popular and delicious way to eat them now is to roast them. You can take the canned rinsed chickpeas, toss them with a little bit of olive oil and your favorite spices, like smoked paprika or garlic powder, and then roast them in the oven or an air fryer until they are crispy. They become a wonderful, healthy replacement for crunchy snacks like potato chips. And of course, they are a classic and wonderful addition to soups, stews, and vegetable curries, where they add a wonderful texture and absorb all the delicious flavors of the dish.
Those are all fantastic and delicious ideas. It's a true blessing that a food that is so affordable and so accessible can be filled with so many God-given healing and protective compounds. This is so much practical information. We are so glad to share it with our global community. To help us see our global community, please let us know what city, state, or country you are watching from. We love to see this message connecting all of you. So lentils provide the powerful minerals to fight swelling and inflammation, and chickpeas provide the antioxidant shield to protect the joint tissues from damage. Doctor, what is the third and final plant-based protein in your three-pronged attack on arthritis?
Our final food is one that has been a cornerstone of healthy diets in Asia for thousands of years. It is our third powerhouse, tofu. I think of it as the complete builder and balancer. It provides the direct building blocks for repair, and it also helps to balance the internal systems that can contribute to inflammation. I had a patient, a 65-year-old woman, who had just recently gone through menopause. She told me that while she had always had a very mild arthritis in her hands in the last year, it had flared up with a new and painful intensity. Her joints were often achy and inflamed, and she was also very worried about her bone health, which she knew was a concern after menopause. She also found that eating a lot of meat often made her feel heavy and made her digestion feel sluggish. We introduced firm tofu into her diet just a few times a week. I taught her how to press it to remove the water, and then she would crumble it into a vegetable scramble for lunch or bake it with some simple seasonings for dinner. After a few months, she came back and told me that the constant intense fire of her arthritis flare-ups had calmed down significantly. She felt lighter after her meals and she had more energy. For her, the tofu was providing the protein her body needed for repair, but in a way that was gentle on her system and also helped to calm the inflammation.
That is a fantastic outcome. And the science behind why tofu was so helpful for her is so interesting because it works in several different ways all at the same time. Let's break that down for our viewers. First, as the source material you provided notes, tofu is a complete protein. This is very important. It means like meat, it contains all 9 of the essential amino acid building blocks that your body needs to repair its tissues, including the soft tissues in the cartilage around your joints. Second, tofu is a good source of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids. As we know, these are powerfully anti-inflammatory, so they were directly helping to calm that fire that your patient was feeling. Third, and this is a very interesting point for a postmenopausal woman, tofu is very rich in natural plant compounds called isoflavones. These are gentle phytoestrogens. The source text mentions that they have anti-inflammatory properties that can be very helpful. For a woman whose own natural estrogen levels have declined, these plant compounds can be very supportive in modulating and calming the inflammatory response that often gets worse after menopause. And finally, as an added bonus, many types of firm tofu that are sold in American grocery stores are now fortified with calcium and vitamin D, making it an excellent food for supporting the bone health that is so closely linked to the health of our joints. Now, doctor, we absolutely have to address this because it is so important for our viewers. We have covered it before, but it is worth repeating to be very clear. There is a lot of fear and misinformation in the U.S. about soy isoflavones and their effect on hormones. Can you please once again provide your wisdom on the safety of eating a whole food like tofu?
I am happy to. The fear that many people have is largely based on a misunderstanding of the science. Most of the negative studies that created this fear involved either highly processed soy protein isolates, or they involved giving extremely high, unnatural doses to lab animals. The human population studies from countries in Asia, where people have been eating whole soy foods like tofu, edamame, and miso for thousands of years, show excellent health outcomes, including lower rates of many chronic diseases. The key is 2 things: moderation and choosing the whole food. A few servings of a whole soy food like tofu per week as part of a balanced and varied diet is a very safe and wonderfully healthy food for both men and women. The wisdom is always in eating the real food, not a highly processed powder or a pill.
Thank you for that very clear and responsible explanation. Now, for people at home who are new to cooking with tofu, the different types in the store can be a little confusing. You might see silken firm and extra firm. Can you give us a simple guide?
Of course, it is very simple. Silken tofu is very soft and has a texture like a custard. It is wonderful for blending into smoothies to add a creamy protein boost or for making creamy soups and sauces. Firm and extra firm tofu are the best for cooking. The first and most important step is to press them for about 20 minutes to remove the excess water. You can do this by wrapping the block in paper towels and placing something heavy on top. After you press it, you can then cube it and add it to a vegetable stir-fry. You can crumble it to make a scramble just like you would with eggs, or you can marinate it in your favorite sauce and bake, or air fry it until it is golden brown and a little crispy. It absorbs the flavor of whatever you cook it with, so be generous with your healthy herbs and spices.
That is so practical. You've given our viewers so many ways to use these 3 powerful healing foods. It's a wonderful reminder of the abundance and variety of nourishing foods we have been blessed with. Doctor, this has been an incredible deep dive into the specific powers of lentils, chickpeas, and tofu. Now that our viewers understand the unique benefits of each one, the minerals, the antioxidants, and the complete protein, how should they put all of this together into a practical weekly plan? Do they need to try and eat all 3 of these every single day?
That is a very practical and important question. The goal is never to become overwhelmed or to make your diet too complicated. The wisdom is in variety and in rotation. You do not need to eat all of these foods every single day. Instead, you can think about building a weekly rhythm. Perhaps you can enjoy a hot lentil soup for lunch on Monday and Wednesday. Then you can have a large salad with chickpeas for lunch on Tuesday and Thursday. And you can enjoy a nice simple tofu and vegetable stir-fry for your dinner on Friday evening. By rotating these foods throughout your week, you are giving your body a full spectrum of support. The minerals from the lentils, the antioxidants from the chickpeas, and the complete protein and isoflavones from the tofu all work together as a powerful team to help calm the inflammation in your body.
That is a perfect and very manageable plan. It shows that by using this 3-pronged attack throughout the week, our viewers can build a powerful natural defense against the inflammation that causes arthritis. These foods offer a delicious and effective way to manage chronic joint pain. This is a wonderful proactive approach to living well with arthritis and not letting it control your daily life. It is all about using your daily nutrition to reduce the inflammation that is the root cause of so much joint pain and stiffness. By making these simple swaps, you are taking a huge and empowering step in managing your arthritis naturally.
I want to leave you with this one final thought. The pain that you feel from your joints is a signal from your body. It is asking for help. It is asking for better nourishment. These simple, humble, plant-based foods are a wonderful way to answer that call. Be kind to your body, feed it well, and it will thank you with less pain and more comfortable movement.
That is a beautiful message, Doctor. Answering the body's call with kindness. It's a wonderful reminder to be good stewards of the bodies we have been blessed with and to use the healing foods that nature provides. And of course, the wisest first step is always to speak with your personal doctor or a registered dietitian to create a nutritional plan that is right for you and your specific health needs. Please remember that our conversation today is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for personal medical advice. If you found this guide helpful and inspiring, please give this video a like so that others can find this powerful information. And be sure to share it with a friend or family member who is struggling with the daily challenges of arthritis pain. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It is completely free and it ensures you will join us for more practical health guides. And for our community discussion today, we would love to know, which of these 3 plant-based proteins are you most excited to add to your meals this week? Sharing your plan in the comments below can be a great inspiration to others. Thank you for being with us. Be well.